Cortexiphan Static. Walter's window cut into everything. Children, glass, crossed frequencies, soft places. Jacksonville, motel room, 19-something. 2 scientists and a clipboard and a child who doesn't know what they're looking for inside her, but can feel them looking. Cortexiphan, the drug that says to the brain, you were always bigger than this. You were always capable of burning through the boundary between what is and what also is. Burroughs says, every government, every institution, every man with a clipboard is looking for the same thing, the place in the human animal where the ordinary runs out and something else begins and can be weaponized. They called it a gift. They always call it a gift when it belongs to someone else and they want it. The soft place, not a door. Softer than a door, not a window. Softer than a window. The place where if you push with the right frequency of desperation, the world gives. Geisen says, every wall is soft if you find the frequency it was built to keep out. The Cortexiphan children were tuned to that frequency before they were old enough to understand what tuning meant. Cut here, left column. Child burning in the motel, gift pressed into the wound. Father watching with the clipboard, door opening in the mind. Woman burning in the field, wound pressed into the gift. Father weeping at the window, mind opening into the door. Fold here, the fold is Jacksonville. The fold is always the place where something was done to someone small that made them large enough to end the world or save it. The difference being slim. Walter, genius, broken genius, genius that broke itself to fit through the hole it made in everything. He cut a window between worlds with science, with grief, with the specific madness of a father watching his son die in a timeline where the other version didn't have to. Burroughs says the window Walter cut was not cut with glass cutters, it was cut with love, which is a much more dangerous tool because it doesn't know when to stop cutting. He reached through, took the boy, the other boy, the same boy, the boy who was also someone else's boy. And the world started bleeding together at the edges where he cut. Geisen says a wound between worlds heals slower than any other kind. It has to forget what it was before it was a wound, and worlds have very long memories. The observers take notes. Subject. Breach of universal membrane. Consequence. Cascade. Emotional driver. Paternal attachment. This keeps happening. Love keeps doing this. We have logged 17,000 instances of a parent breaking the structure of reality for a child. Recommendation. Unknown. We have not found a way to make love less structurally dangerous. And note, the other side, same city, different skyline, same faces, different history, same grief, different reasons. Burroughs says, the most frightening thing about the other world is not that it's different, it's that it's almost exactly the same. And the places where it isn't are the places where something went wrong on one side or the other, and you can never be sure which side is yours. People with amber, whole neighborhoods suspended, mid-Tuesday, mid-scream. The other side's wounds, visible, mapped, named. Tyson says, our side has the same wounds, we just haven't started calling them by their proper names yet. Peter, the boy taken, the boy who became the key again always. Burroughs says, some people are born as solutions to problems they didn't cause and spend their whole lives being inserted into the lock by people who love them, which is the most intimate form of use there is. He stood in the machine, both worlds pulling at his blood simultaneously. One world said, you are ours. The other world said, you are ours. stars, and Peter said, I am the space between the claim and the answer. Olivia burned in Jacksonville, tested, measured, filed. The drug said, you can cross. The fear said, you already have. The love said, cross again. She walked through walls, not metaphorically, literally. The wall recognized her frequency and stepped aside, the way anything steps aside for something that has already been through quick enough times to stop asking permission. Jason says the truly Cortexiphan thing is not the fire, not the crossing, not the soft place found. It's doing it afraid every time and going anyway, because someone on the other side of the impossible needs you to arrive. Walter was just a man who loved something more than the universe could safely accommodate, and the universe sent the bill to everyone. Olivia was just a child filled with fire, who learned to aim it at the things that deserved burning.